thoughts about taking with me tonight, Watson. There's great danger.
If you think I could be of help, then I'd certainly go along, but what did you see in those rooms that makes you believe they're all danger?
I saw nothing unusual except for the bell rope and the ventilator, but I knew we'd find a vent before we ever followed Helen to Stoke Moran.
How did you know?
Do you remember when Miss Stoner was telling us her story this morning? She said her sister smelled Dr. Roll's Indian cigars. So, of course, I deduced that there had to be an opening between the two rooms. It had to be one small enough or else the police would have noticed it.
But is there anything suspicious about that?
Only the coincidence that a vent is built, a bell cord is hung, and the lady who sleeps beneath it dies.
I cannot see any connection.
Do you notice anything strange about the bed?
Why, no.
It was clamped to the floor so it could not be moved. It always had to be directly below the vent in the bell cord. Or call it a rope, for there was never mentioning a bell.
I'm beginning to see what you're hinting at. I pray we are in the time to prevent another horrible crime.
I do too. For when a doctor becomes a criminal, he's the shrewdest kind if he has both the nerve and the knowledge. Look, there, that's our signal. Let's go. We must be absolutely silent. We must sit without a light, or he'll see it through the vent. We must not sleep. Have your pistol ready. I'll sit in the bed, and you sit here on the dresser. Did you see it, Watson? No.
Ah!
What does it mean?
It means that's all over. Perhaps it's for the best. Now, come on, let's go see Volt's room. The band, the Speckled band. It's a swamp adder, the deadliest snake in India. Dr. Rollock must have died within 10 seconds after he was bitten. The criminal has become the victim of a crime he planned for another.
And how would you please fill me on what I don't already know? How do you manage to solve this case in time to prevent another terrible crime?
At first, I came to the wrong conclusion myself. I, too, thought that Julia Stoner's dying words were about a band that referred to the gypsies. But when I examined the house, I realized that whatever killed Julia Stoner, and was now threatening her sister, Helen, could not have been from the outside. When I realized that the bell pull was a dummy, and noticed that the vent, and then I saw that the bed was clamped to the floor, I suspected that the rope was used as a bridge to pass something through, from the doctor's room, through the ventilator, and onto the bed. The idea of a snake instantly occurred to me. Knowing that the doctor kept creatures from India as pets, the idea of using poison, which would not show up in any chemical test, would occur to a clever and ruthless man, especially one with medical training from the Far East. And then you would take a very sharp eye police to detect the two tiny punctures that the poison fangs did their work.
But what was the whistle?
The doctor had to get the snake back into his room. She had probably trained it by use of milk to return at the signal using the whistle. He'd put the snake through the vent, and once through, it would crawl down the rope and land on the bed. Sooner or later, it would attack its victim.
And he came to these conclusions after examining Miss Stoner's room?
Yes. I hadn't even seen the doctor's bedroom, but when I did, everything was confirmed. When I examined his chair, the very one in which he now sits, dead, I saw that he had a habit of standing on it to reach the ventilator. And the safe, the saucer of milk, and the dog leash removed any doubts.
And the clanging Miss Stoner heard?
Her stepfather closing the safe once he had the snake back inside.
And when he waited in the darkness of Miss Stoner's room, what made you suddenly attack the rope?
I heard the creature hiss, so I attacked it.
And that drove it back through the vent?
Yes, but the blows of my cane roused its temper, so I attacked the first person it saw, its own master. In this way, I'm probably responsible for Dr. Rollett's death, but it won't upset me.
Certainly not. What have you done is not only to solve the mystery of the death of Julius Stoner, but to save the life of Helen Stoner as well.
Miss Stoner, I'm sad to say that your stepfather has died,
We will take you to your aunt's house right away.
and I'll make sure to notify the police. Is something bothering you?
I can't understand why you didn't inform the police of Dr. Riot's crime and the real truth of how he died.
I felt that Helen Stoner had been through enough tragedy in her life, and to expose her stepfather for the murderer would only extend her grief. This way she can begin a new happy life with her future husband, without the shame and the scandal that would have followed her, if the truth were known. And besides, the police would have been embarrassed had I revealed that the great Sherlock Holmes had solved a crime which they had blundered.
Yes, indeed, you are the great Sherlock Holmes.